Good. Yeah. Tell him to go to dog stuff.
Go to dog stuff.
All right, what are we doing? Flatware compass?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, good boy.
All right, now it's at 2 o'clock there. That's great, John. Out, yes, block. Good. Good.
Yeah, deep.
Nice, John. Yep, that's great.
A little bit off on the angle.
You ready, Cupcake? Let's do it. Ooh, you're gonna be sponsored by ProPlan. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, get out. Yep. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Catch. Yes, good girl. Ouse. Yes. Catch. Yes, good girl. Ouse. Yes. Yes, good girl. Ouse. Yes. Oh shit, my bad, sweetheart. Hey, hey, Sage Paw. I did get the shot though. Watching, I was framing that for the shot, looking at the logo. All right. All right, what do we got? What's up, Byron? With the cupcake. You ready, Cup? Here we go. We're gonna do fly too slow form number 2, the hard one. These are front crosses, so I'll make a throw, Makai, catch. She'll probably be on clock. House, so I'll front cross her to counter and make the throw. Now she's on clock, I'm gonna switch, and then, yes, put her on, oh, good girl, yeah. House, clock, block. We're out here, oh, you can see she's leaving early. She knows what's happening. Out, yeah, block, so I'm gonna fake her out this time, catch. Oh, you got it, didn't you? All right, and then I'll front cross out to counter. Yes, she's on clock. I'll switch and I'll front cross to clock. Awesome. Whoa. Out. I'll block and I'll pass clockwise. Good girl. You can face her if I want. Out. I'll block. I'm already set for my counter pass, so I'll switch, and now I'll go counter pass. Oh, better hustle. Oh, you got burned, Cupcake. You got burned. Awesome. Rising throw, number 3. Go, go, go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. Yes. Good. Ouse. Do it, Epi. Do it. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Badass. Go, go, go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. Good. Right there. Yes, good. Yep, you gotta wait for it. It's happening. Good. Ouse. Right, Coop Cake? Through. I see you. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. All right, here we are. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. It's been a while, right? Been like 20 minutes or so. What's up? I can barely hear with this audio here. Let me see. All right, what's going on? Got some good dogs. Everybody's doing their thing. Got some guests coming. Abby Klein is coming in today. I don't know if she's gonna try and make her way in here. I would imagine she wouldn't. We're probably not gonna wanna interrupt the show. You know, it's a big show. Right? It's been 24 hours for you. It's been a few hours for Byron and John. So, hi, you should go do dog stuff. That's what you should do. And Epi, you can do whatever you want, buddy. Ep, you don't have to do anything. Just chill. Yeah, whatever. It's totally okay. Yeah, it's totally okay. Yep. All right, kill that audio. What we got here? You're live now, John? What are you doing live? All right, I need to get the interview thing going. All right. If anyone wants to try and call in, I'll give you the, there you go. We can try a call in here if anyone wants to. See what happens with that. I'm willing to break stuff. I am willing to break stuff. I don't have a bunch planned. Questions, comments, shit like that would be terrific. I'm kind of interested in going into the, yep, Abby's here. Kind of interested in going into the Kneffin stuff and maybe the flow stuff. I'll try and open this up again. We'll see what happens. Ooh, I got my pentalobe screwdriver coming to fix my my MacBook. We'll see if it's all clogged up with hair. It might be. It's entirely possible that all my hatred of Steve Jobs is gonna be essentially my fault. I'm really fingers crossed that that's the case. So tomorrow in class, maybe if it gets here early, I don't know if it will, but at the very least, Throwing Thursday should have new stuff. I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. If she comes in, you'll get to say hi to her. All right, so yeah, we got Boom Pow. You can call in to the show if you want. I can try and bring you in. I don't know how to do that very well. I'm not very good at it. Apple died with Steve. Indeed it did, John. Indeed. I need to get my. Oh, hang on. I can actually do that. Hang on. I have a Teal'c meme. A Teal'c meme that I really am partial to. I missed it. I had it. Indeed. Indeed, O'Neill. Need to watch that again. There we go. Will it play as a GIF? Let's see. Indeed. All right. Yeah, we'll leave that one up. I like that. I'm a big fan of Teal'c. False gods. Where is that? Need to put that up somewhere. Uh-oh, what the hell is that? What is that? What happened there? What? I really like Final Cut Pro, so I was unwilling to get rid of. Indeed, was unwilling to get rid of my Mac and the software that I use here, Ecamm Live. If you have a Mac, it's super awesome. It's really nice and it's super simple. I like all the functionality that it has with it. So, yeah, I did another MacBook. So I don't know. What are we gonna do, man? Let me pull up some. I gotta surf through all of my philosophy shit. God, I'm going bonkers with the philosophy stuff. I've watched. There's 81 episodes from Wheaton College of Arthur Holmes. It's his philosophy class, and he's super cool theological philosopher, right? And I'm not very theological. I'm not very Christian. Not Christian at all, I don't think. Taoist, but anyway, I like the spin and the angle that the theologists or theologians put on the philosophy. It gives me kind of a. They have an angle. There's a mooring point that you can grab a hold of, and I like that. And the guy's just amazing. If you guys have seen the Doctor and Vincent Van Gogh, the dude in the curator in the museum. Arthur Holmes sounds just like him. As a matter of fact, I think the dude that that played the guy grabbed Arthur Holmes as a archetype for it. But anyway, I'm like 62 classes. I've taken 62 classes with Dr. Holmes. Super cool. I got 19 more. Whoa, whoa, zip, zip, zip. I know, it's exciting. So there's going to be, I don't know how many dogs, I'm sure Abby brought all her dogs. Dude, zip. So most of that is outside. Epic, a pup. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. A pup, yes, chill. Cupcake, whatever. Zip. Zip, you zip, for sure. Zip. Hang on one sec. Everybody zip. Good quiet, King. Good quiet, Epi. So yeah, there are at present a bunch of dogs on the property. I won't even tell you how many dogs that are on the property. Lots and lots. That's how many. That's how many. Lots and lots. So what do we got? Not quite that many. Not quite that many. I don't even want to say it. There are 31, 32 dogs here right now, I think. That's what I think is here. Maybe 33, 34. I don't know how many Abby has now. So it's liable to get a little crazy. All right, King, dude, what are you doing, man? You look pretty sheepish. You look, oh, look at you. Oh my gosh. Cupcake, you're so good. How did you do that? Cupcake off. Good girl. Wow, great work. Awesome. Holy cow. Good work. Go to dog stuff. All right. So what do we got? What do we got? Let me see. I'm going to pull up some Kneffin stuff. Is there anything you guys... Dude, zip. Is there anything you guys want to hit on as far as the Kneffin framework? So the only one who really, John and Byron both know what I'm talking about, but everybody else probably doesn't. So I've been working on a philosophy of play. I don't know what I'm going to call it. It's coming along quite nicely. I'm using the Kneffin framework, which is a sense-making framework, and also I'm implementing flow theory. I've been talking about flow theory, the affirmation, enjoyment, or achievement. Pleasure and enjoyment, or achievement and affirmation. And so the Kneffin framework is a sense-making framework. And the flow theory is essentially, how to hit Satori, how to hit flow, right? And it's super, super cool. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that maybe, but I am open for questions. We have some people here. You guys should ask questions. I will answer them. Tactics is the topic, but anything is good. DiscDog tactics, dog training tactics. If you need some throwing stuff, let's do it. I am ready to roll with that. So let's see here. What do we got? We got 4.5. Is that a good one? Yeah, this is a good one. So I'm going to pull this up. Should I put it in there? No, I need to open it and then share my screen. So flow theory is based on Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi or some shit like that. Csinkze something Mihaly. Mihayli. You can look up flow theory on YouTube. I really recommend it. If you do, check out the one with the 2 books. It's got 2 books on the front, the thumbnail. And it's an excellent, excellent illustration of it. Those of you guys who are playing Frisbee or training dogs, you'll recognize the reason that we do it. The reason that we do it is clearly laid out within that YouTube video. It's about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Mihaly is interviewed, and some other people are reading his book. It is a theory out of positive psychology, so it's a little kind of kooky new age, right? But the science of flow, right? I mean, you can't really science that hard science style. So the important things about it, I'll put up an image here as well. Let me pull up another one. Flow theory. I'll just do flow. I got the flow star, which is really cool. So let me see here. Let's do, so I will share my screen. There's going to be a bunch of shit on here, guys, so hopefully nothing gets crazy. Yep. Zip, zip, zip. Csikszentmihalyi, right? See, that wasn't bad. That wasn't, dude, go do dog stuff. Piss off. Not okay. Not okay. Sit properly, King. And I will get you guys, I'll get this screen shared here. So this is going to be an interesting stream, I think. So let me see. Epi, zip. You can chill. Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. So I want to show preview. So this is the this is a flow diagram. I really like this. So you'll probably see some things that are familiar. On the left, going up, we have challenge, right? And that's essentially the challenge level. Could also be the level of abstraction as well, which we'll touch on in the Kneffen framework. And then on the bottom, we have skill, and that's the skill level of the dog handler team. And so when the skills are equally matched, right? When they're equally matched, we have flow. High challenge, high skills, right? Control, where we operate most of the time in terms of our dog training, I think. We have moderate challenge, high skills, right? So we're under the threshold of what we're capable of. The challenge is moderate, the skill level is high, we rock on. And that's where we think we're at all the time, right? That's where your really good dog training is going to happen. But that's not flow, right? You are under control, you're doing the thing, but it's not that magic point, right? As we go down, we have boredom, low challenge, high skills, right? So as we get into a pattern train, or as we get boring, right? The dog is too good for this. Then the dog gets bored. Relaxation, low challenge, moderate skill. That's not necessarily true for dog training. But it is a moderate skill level, and there's not much going on, right? And that can be a huge challenge in and of itself for a lot of dogs. Over here we have apathy. So dog is checking out. Dog doesn't give a shit at all, that stuff. That is low challenge, low skills, right? We have worry, moderate challenge, low skills, and we have anxiety, high challenge, low skills. And then arousal up at the top, right? And that's high challenge, moderate skills. So this is super cool, man. For you guys who are dog trainers, right? Like we know this. This is nothing new to any. The new thing is that, oh my gosh, dude, I can peg worry now, right? And I can say, that dog is worried, not anxious. Or I can be like, what's up with the dog? Well, he's kind of good at this, but the skill level's too high. Or he's not good at this at all, and it doesn't matter how high the skill level is, right? The first one would be anxiety, the dog would be anxious, the second one would be worry. So it really helps to track and map what's going on with your dog. Like I can peg it now, right away. I can be like, oh, dude, bump up the ante, drop the ante, reduce the criteria, right? Bump up the reinforcement. Or bumping up the reinforcement ain't gonna help you, right? That's a big one. Everybody bumps up the reinforcement or gets better cookies. It ain't gonna fucking help you for this. Ain't gonna help, right? Because the dog's skill level is not up to the task. Or the challenge is too low for the dog's skill level. Yeah, they'll eat the cookies, but they'll do something else. They'll be bored and they'll be doing something else anyway. Who cares, right? Who cares about this shit? Check in and check out. Super awesome dog that's not working well. So this is a really big deal. Also, flow is play. Okay, so the philosophy of play, a lot of people are doing play classes, and I don't think they're playing. They got games, but there's no game. Yeah, I think so. I'm not a fan of better cookies. If you have to get better cookies, outside of like some kind of serious reactivity situation, or you're way over threshold, you've brought a knife to a gunfight, right, situation, higher value cookies, always a good idea. But if in the middle of your session you have to go get higher value cookies, you are operating in pleasure, right? Pleasure is not going to get you flow. You are not, flow has a 500 to 1,000% productivity increase, right? Per Mihaly, Csikszentmihalyi, I think is how you say his name. And Csikszentmihalyi, maybe, I don't know. I need to learn that so I don't butcher it forever. But if you're having to go get higher value cookies, you're not playing. You're not playing. And if you're not playing, you can't hit that level of flow, right? And flow is kind of defined as like the zone, or Satori, or Zen, or Nirvana, or, there's one more. I can't remember. It's where time stands still, right? Everything's easy. You lose yourself in the activity, right? And for me, it's why I play disc with dogs, right? And when we're really cranking in our dog training, me and my dogs, we're flowing. So flow can't happen in a pleasure-based system. Pleasure, the cookie is one part physiology. The dog needs a cookie, right? They need food. It satisfies a physiological need. It can satisfy an emotional need, but that is pleasure. And that shit's a black hole. If you're taking pleasure from a physiological need, right? If you're just taking it, you're just taking cookies. That is a black hole. You will have to take cookies and take more and more cookies. Pleasure or affirmation takes cookies, right? Affirmation is a black hole. Pleasure is a black hole. That takes cookies. Achievement and enjoyment, when we earn the cookie, or when we have our consciousness altered by the cookie, which is what we're supposed to be doing in training. When that happens, the dog becomes a shining star that kicks out cookies. The dog makes the cookies happen, man, right? And they don't need lower value cookie or higher value cookies. It's not a big deal, right? So there's a bunch of stuff that lays out from this concept of flow. I don't have a bunch of stuff prepared on this, but I wanted to mention it. It is part of what I got going on. It's part of the stuff that we're covering in class, and it's kicking ass, man. People are taking off with it, and I'm super stoked about it. The other thing that I have is the Cynefin framework. You guys have seen this before. I'll go through it real quick. We have, these are 4 domains, right? And these are the ordered domains. These are unordered domains. It's not an axis. It kind of operates as an axis, but it is not an axis. Down here we have the clear domain, which is where base level concepts, facts and concepts, pressure, position, ass hitting the floor, foot target, hand target, object target, duration, bite, drop, give. All of those things live down here. And then, so down at the bottom, it's very concrete. As we move up, it gets more and more abstract. So up here in the complicated, we have things that are made up of many concepts. So the actual sit behavior lives up here, right? Dog is in position, dog squats, hits their ass on the ground, looks up at me, that's the sit behavior, right? That's a complicated process. Over here in the complex, keep in mind these over here, they don't exist in reality. Or I'm sorry, they exist in reality, they don't exist, they're not actualized here on earth. They live in our heads, they're how we interpret them, they're what we strive to do, right? But it's never perfect when we're doing it in actuality here on, you know, planet Earth where we work. All of that stuff takes place over here in the complex domain. And then we have the chaotic domain down here, chaos. You don't want to be there. In the center, we have the aporetic domain, which is outside of play. We can enter that via dismissal on purpose, where me and or the dog choose to disengage and get our shit together, or we can be pushed in there via confusion. And you guys can't see my cursor at all because I'm not in the right place, can you? You can't. Down here we have the clear domain, complicated domain, complex. Down here it's concrete. As we go up, it gets more abstract. In the center, we have the aporetic domain. That's out of play. We either enter via confusion or we enter via dismissal. And what we do is we take these very simple facts and concepts and we move them over here and we play with them. And when we play with them, we might be referencing a complicated skill. Toss and fetch would be up here in the complicated domain, right? It's very obvious. We send the dog around, or we get the dog's attention, we get timed with the dog, we make a long throw, the dog takes off, chases it, tracks, targets, collects, leaps, quickly and efficiently turns back around, runs back, arrives, gives it to us, and we repeat, okay? That lives up here. And we have position, tracking, bite, give, throwing, right? Distances, right? A catch at a particular distance. Epi, that'll do. Go do dog stuff. So this little framework, super nice. Biggest problem that we have with training, and particularly with Frisbee, is that we think that when dude, zip. We think that when we're working with the dog, right, that we're doing it over here in that reality, which is, you know, the perfect world, right? This is exactly how it's supposed to be done. My 22.5 point bell ringer in USDDN, my perfect round of toss and fetch, like how it's done in my dreams, right? That lives over here. But when we do it, we're over here, and there's a high state of disorder to it. It's windy. The grass is a different length. The field is sloped. The sun is in my eyes. I don't feel well. My dog is nervous, right? The music's too loud. There is no music. The judge is creepy. All that stuff sets up disorder, right? And if we act and expect the performance of over here while we're playing, we're going to be sorely disappointed. Sorely disappointed. It's not going to go like that. When it does, you should scream hallelujah and, you know, give thanks. Give thanks, because it ain't going to happen like that all the time, right? So these little pink, down here we have sense, categorize, respond. That's how we proceed in the clear domain. So when we are working on a concept, before I go there, dog handler and team. Dog handler and team all play on this on this map. So my dog needs to know this. I need to know this. And then the team needs to know this as well, right? Yeah, the judge is wearing a squirrel suit. That's always a good one, yeah. When the Halloween, the judge is all creepy, right? The judge is wearing a creepy hat or something. So the dog handler and team need to know this. When we're working in the clear domain, you see this dark line here. This is called the simplicity cliff, right? When we think our shit is super tight and it's a best practice and my dog knows this concept, right? My dog knows a foot target, and you've done it here in the studio, never done it outside, and you go and do it somewhere else, or you do it on a different object. Like Cupcake knows foot target. What if I have her foot target onto the concrete? Is she going to know that? Probably, right? But if she doesn't, and it doesn't work, we fall into chaos right away. The simplicity cliff is ugly, ugly stuff. And it happens when we overestimate our base level understanding. So we take a skill, toss and fetch. My dog knows how to do that. He plays toss and fetch. Well, I send the dog around and throw over to the left. Guess what? My dog runs up the field because we play toss and fetch, right? I send the dog around and then I throw up the field. Well, when I send the dog around and throw over here, my dog runs up the field. The disc is over here, right? I fall off the simplicity cliff. Nobody knows what the fuck's happening. We're in chaos. Oh no, what are we gonna do, right? And then you're embarrassed. You're upset because your dog should have known it, right? That simplicity cliff is really rough. It's much better to be up here and have a level set understanding, even if our toss and fetch is perfect, right? If I'm up here and I send the dog around and I try to throw out there and the dog runs upfield, I go, okay, what happened? Right? I am not expecting it to be perfect. This is perfect, super simple. This is perfect, pretty complex, can get out of whack. This is where we're really working. Stay away from here. So this sense, categorize, respond down here, right? That's how we handle things in the clear domain. We look at it, we sense what's happening, we categorize it, this is a foot target, and then we respond. And the dog will do the same. I set up a challenge, the dog sees a pedestal, okay, the dog senses that it's a pedestal, they categorize it as the pedestal skill, and then they respond by taking the pedestal, right? Up here, when it gets complicated, by the way, this is simple categorization down here, right? Everybody knows what's happening, we just categorize that shit. Your dog knowing these concepts rather than just doing the tricks, that's super important. We covered that extensively in class today, right? We covered that extensively in class. It's not what you do, it's what you know. And John, I tracked down that quote. I'll pull it up here. I can probably pull it up from here. Here's a quote from class today. Right? Right, John? So be super clean. We don't need this rep, we need the knowledge. If we get the knowledge, we get every rep. If we pull out all stops to get this rep, we don't get the knowledge. When the dog has the knowledge, they simply categorize, they sense what's happening, right? They sense what's happening, they categorize it, and they respond. If they just do the skill, they can't sense what's happening, they can't categorize it, they can't respond. They can't apply the skills and the knowledge that they have towards what we're doing. Neither can we if we don't. If I just do the pedestal or I just do toss and fetch, I can't categorize the discrete skills and concepts, and I can't formulate a good response. Neither can my dog. It's not this rep, it's the knowledge. Who cares about this rep? I don't give a shit. You hear me all the time in here. I don't give a shit about this. I want the knowledge. I don't want this rep. And a long time before Cupcake's gonna need to be perfect, right? I want her to know what we're doing in here, and then she can sense, categorize, and respond, right? Up higher, as we abstract this situation, we now have, ooh, I don't know if I can, I'll just do that, you'll see it there. In the complicated domain, it's too complicated to simply categorize. There are going to be a bunch of things happening. So we sense, we analyze, then we respond, right? And this is primarily done by the handler, but I think the dog does this too. The dog sees a situation, they sense it. If it's a pedestal situation, those two pedestals there, right? Senses two pedestals, sees me in a pregnant pause situation, I'm standing there, what are we gonna do? I say, stall. The dog analyzes the situation. I don't know which one. They look at me. They analyze it, and then I help them, right? Sense, analyze, respond is how we kind of handle the the complicated domain, we're not really working here, but we need to work through it. What do I need to do here? How do I need to do it? Right? What type of training am I going to do? Am I going to shape this? Am I going to lure this? What's going to work here? And I can know that. There are many ways to do it, probably. Down here, there's kind of only one way to do it, down here in the clear. Up here, there are many ways that we can do it, right? And so there are many ways we can do it, so we have to analyze it. I might need to consult a book, check a video. I might need to consult an expert. But we can get this done. Everybody knows it is possible to know how to do it, right? So both of these situations over here, the first thing we do is sense. And then we categorize if it's simple, analyze if it's complicated, right? Over here, on the other hand, it's a totally different planet. In the complex domain, as good as you are at toss and fetch, you can't tell me what your score's going to be, right? You can't tell me. As good as you are at this vault, you can't tell me 100% if this vault is going to work. You can't tell me what mistake is going to happen, right? When we're in the complex domain, we can only know what's happening and analyze it, or sense what's happening, or formulate our response after the fact, after it happened. Then we can work back and go, oh, this was the error. I got that. Let me change that, right? And this is so huge, guys. When you go out on the field, when I work your dog, I don't know what the hell is happening. If I go out, I work people's dogs, and I don't make a mistake. I quote unquote don't make a mistake with the dog, right? It looks like I'm perfect. And it looks like I know what I'm doing the whole time. But on the way to the field, I've made 20 safe to fail probes. In the complex domain, the first thing that we have to do is we have to try something. What's going to happen if I do this? Oh, that happens. Okay, do I like that? No, don't do that again. How about I try this? Ooh, that, I like that. Let's continue doing that, right? Everybody wants the answer to what is happening. Like, tell me how to do it. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. I can't tell you that. It's not going to work. Anybody who tells you that is setting you up to have a problem. You go on YouTube and pick up 5 steps to get this done. What happens when step 1 doesn't work? All of a sudden you're an idiot. And then you feel like you're an idiot. And everybody's stressed, right? The reality is you don't know how it's going to work. There might be 5 steps, but at that first step, after you do it and it doesn't work, there are 5 directions you could go, 10 directions you could go. And then you probe, and you get there. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't know what's going to happen with what you're doing or what you're learning until you start to do it. Does that make sense? You guys following me on that? That is like super, super key. And it's so freaking liberating. How many of you guys are a few people here? I'm running them off as quick as they come in. If you, well, it's not though, Sage Paw. It's not it's not Frisbee. It's everything. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. Right? If you've never done it before, you don't know how to do it. I can tell you how to do it, but when you go to do it, you have to try, and you're likely to make a mistake. And that's okay. Right? So what we do, instead of trying to do the complicated thing in its entirety, right? The Fly Chi flow form. You go out and try that the first time. instead of going, I'm going to do the fly chi flow form and expect that you're going to do the whole fucking thing without having flat work, without having all this stuff, or even if you have all those skills, right? Or those concepts. If you go with the intent and the expectation that it's going to be perfect, you're going to get your ass kicked. And then you're going to not want to do it. And you're going to do the beautiful thing about Frisbee, or the terrible thing, both at the same time, is that you go do the fly chi flow form and you can't do it. You're like, well, fuck that. It's dumb anyway. Let me do a vault, right? Post it on Instagram. That's all that matters. You know, with Frisbee, we don't need the foundation because there are a million tricks that we can do, right? So when you go out to do anything, the first time you do it, you have to try, and it's not likely to work. And that's okay. So what we do is we set up a safe to fail probe. How about I try this little thing, right? I work with hand targets, pedestals, eye contact, targeting, object targeting, and foot targeting, right? That's what I've been working with. Those are my safe to fail probes. I use them and I sense what happens, and then I respond. But you have to do something first in the complex domain. You can't have an answer until you start working it. You can't play until you start trying the game, right? When we're playing, if we're actually playing up here in the complex domain, we're playing, right? If we're playing, who shoots 1,000 in basketball? Who bats 1,000 in baseball? Greatest baseball players in history bat 400 out of 1,000. Greatest basketball players, dudes who only dunk, shoot 60%. They miss 40% of their shots. Michael Jordan missed 45% of his shots. Greatest basketball player ever. Miss 45% of your shots. You're up here playing Frisbee thinking you're going to be perfect. It's not fair. You can't do that. Right? And it's not just the dog Frisbee, Sage Potts. Every single thing we do. And it seems like the more we want to do it, the less able we are to give up with that. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yep, 100%. 100%. It's actually a corporate, sense-making and situational awareness tool. So they use this. So what happens, perfect, thank you, Byron. What happens in how this is used, the other sense-making frameworks for corporate America, they're highly structured. And executives think their business runs in little boxes, right? The reality is, all those rules that are at your work, none of them fucking work. The clear ones work, the ones down in the bottom, you know, punch your time clock and shit like that, that works, right? But the actual workflow doesn't work. It's being handled by a bunch of talented people or industrious people breaking the rules and making it work. And the executive looks at it and goes, oh, look at my great workflow. Look how perfect this is. And everyone else is covering his ass, right? And so they have this, the executives have this idea that everything's ordered and that it works the way that we're supposed to work, right? When in reality, it's a jumble. It's up here in the complex domain where no one can know if this thing is going to work until we finish the project. And it was only finished because Byron was smart enough to order pizzas for people and made people happy. And we had something happen while we were eating pizza. And that's why it got fixed. And then the executive looks at that and goes, oh, wow, well, we need to order more pizzas then. Like, duh, it doesn't work like that, you know? So this framework was set up to allow for the clear stuff punching the time clock, having the right equipment, using the equipment properly, setting up setting up a clean and proper workflow that's highly organized, that's as good as we can make it, right? And as close to actuality as we can make it, right? And then we do all of the analysis and working over here in the complex domain where everyone works. And now I can find out that Byron is the guy who makes everything happen. Byron and Sagepaw make everything happen. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Right? And then we take Byron and Sagepaw's exceptions to the rules and we try and put them back over here into the complicated domain. And if they get super successful, then they become best practices and we put them down here in the concept area. Right? And we're doing the same thing with our dog and our team. Right? That's what we're doing out there. And this allows us to check that out. So again, when you go out on the field, this is super important. When you go out on the field, you don't know what's happening. You can't, even if you know how to do it. I don't know how my dog feels today. I don't know how I feel today. It's super windy today. My Frisbees are beat up, right? This is a new field. There's woods on the outside of the field. My dog likes to hunt. All that shit. So what you do is you try something. And it's cool. Just try something. Try something. Don't start out with your impossible rebound, right? Do some stuff. Ease into it. Try this thing. Try that thing. See what happens, right? I mentioned that I take a dog out on the field, and I've said this a few times. Sorry if you've heard it before. You work your dog. That's my first safe to fail probe. I watch. That dog is like this. That dog does that. I have this assumption, right? If I take your discs and walk out there with that assumption and just run the dog, I'm gonna show you my ass. I'm not gonna do well. I'm not gonna do well, right? If, on the other hand, I take that information, you give me the discs, and I stand here and talk to you, and I think the dog is super pushy, right? You give me the discs, he kind of jumps at the discs. Okay, there's safe to fail probe number 2. I didn't even do anything yet, right? He's going to go after the discs. We're talking. I have them tucked up under here. He jumps up at them, right? Whoa, easy, Cheetah. That's safe to fail probe number 3. He looks like he's going to jump up. I block. Hey, don't do that. Easy, Cheetah. He backs off. Safe to fail probe number 2. I switch the discs and block. He backs off, right? I start walking out to the field. He's in heel position. Oh, wow, this dog really knows position. I turn around, he jumps at the disc, I block, right? Sorry. I turn around, he jumps at the disc, I block. I'm talking to you, right? We get out there, I pose, he jumps at the disc. I show him the stop sign. He stops, right? And then we go. And then I run him like he's perfect. I didn't know anything until I got out on the field. Right? All of that stuff was a safe to fail probe. Now keep in mind, while I'm doing that, the dog is doing that. Your dog is throwing safe to fail probes at you. What do you think shaping is? What do you think shaping is? How about I try this? That didn't work? Okay, I'll try something else. Ooh, that worked. What was it that worked? If you don't give a marker, they don't know what it was, and it takes them a longer time of probes to figure out what's happening while they're working up here, right? And they don't know anything. We think, yeah, they got the form. They got the form. He knows this is coming. He doesn't know anything. He's reading moment by moment, throwing behaviors at you. It doesn't get here for the dog until much, much later, right? So the dog and handler are dealing with these things as well. If you have only done object targeting with a with a butter tin lid, right? One object out there in the middle of the floor, right? One object out in the middle of the floor, and nose target. That dog does not know doesn't know object targeting. He doesn't know alternate objects. He doesn't know object discrimination. He only knows it on the floor here. A host of things. He probably doesn't know to touch his thing to the object. He only knows to touch his thing to the white thing. What if it's red? I don't know, right? What we do is not what we know, right? If the dog runs out there and targets the object, right? What does he know? And most handlers say, well, he knows I want him to go out and touch the object. That's probably not what he knows. He knows object selection. He knows approach. He knows arrive. He knows like a nose bob. He knows touching it, maybe, right? But it might only be this. He might not know that with anything else. You guys following me? All right. Crazy town stuff. Crazy town stuff. But the Cynefin framework is super awesome for that. The dogs are using Cynefin. Yeah, take the lid outside, it's a whole new game. Make it a red lid, it's a whole new game. Put 2 lids out there, what the fuck is that? Right? Do something that stands up, right? Do a bottle? Oh, I don't know. What is that? And most people see this as generalization, right? It is true, kind of, but it's not just generalization. Should be conceptualization. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it there, right? So you see that? So, orientation, concept. Approach, concept. Like identify it or indicate, right? Concept. Touch, concept. 2 objects. 2 objects. Concept, approach, boom, right? Yes, it's this one. Right? Simple as that, man. As simple as that. If the dog knows the orientation as a concept and knows the finish, it'll be a simple back chain, right? But if you've just taught the nose target on the object, your dog isn't going to get that. And your dog probably knows it, but you haven't explored it with them. So they don't use it. It just becomes some useless information nobody cares about. Philosophy. Duh, who cares? And I'll tell you, you guys should all be really interested in philosophy. It's got a lot bigger impact on your lives than you would ever imagine. So anyway, blah, 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 super cool stuff. That's the Cynefin framework. That's the philosophy of play stuff I've been working on. I'll stop talking about weird shit. Although I find it super fascinating. We'll hit on it with other dog stuff, and I'll be putting together better and better breakdowns with it. So, whoa. Well, yeah. So, a single object is easy to do as a skill and have it as a skill. As soon as you offer 2 objects, now all of a sudden, the discrimination of this object or that object, right? And it abstractifies the challenge, right? And the dog goes, ooh, is it that? Is it that? I don't know. Which one is it? And they figure it, they try one. It's not right. Okay, I'll do the other one. That's right. Okay, why is this one right? And then the dog starts to try to figure it out. Our shaping, you do not want the rep. You don't want the behavior. You don't want this rep. You want the knowledge that leads to this rep, right? And of course you want the rep, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want the rep, but what you want more than this rep right now is the knowledge that gets you there. Once you get that knowledge, you can do any of the reps. You can do the blue pedestal, the black pedestal, the ball. You can do all the pedestals once you get the knowledge. But if you're chasing the rep, chasing the skill too aggressively, I'm going to go back over here actually. If you're chasing the skill too aggressively, right? Let's say I am doing the pedestal and we go out. I try a safe to fail thing. I kind of stand by the pedestal and I give him the scoop and he jumps up on the pedestal, right? I get the pedestal. That's awesome. I pound it full of cookies. It starts to move. Come on. It starts to move this way, right? And moves this way and moves this way. The more reps I get, the more cookies I put on it, the more it moves over here. If I take the blue pedestal in this studio and I work the shit out of it until it is an established, like, iconic idea for the dog, a complicated concept of attention, approach to the object, jump on the object, front feet on, rear feet on, sit, eye contact, off, right? That whole progression. And that's all I've done it on. I've only explored, come on, I've only explored this area, come on, dude, this area right here, right? What I want to do is I want to do that pedestal, the blue pedestal. I want to do the black pedestal. It'll abstractify, get a little more disordered. I'm going to put the blue and black pedestal together. Holy shit, that's crazy. I'm going to do the ball. Whoa, right? I'm going to do a spot, right? I'm going to do, in a spot, meaning a mat, right? I'm going to do a fire hydrant, right? I'm going to, we'll get crazy. I'll do a parking, one of the parking things. I'll do a skateboard, right? And now I've touched all this stuff. We've moved all around here. And then when I go and I do a skateboard on a ball, right? A skateboard on a ball, I'm ready to drop it into the proofing funnel and move it over here. And now my dog knows pedestal, knows everything there is to know about pedestal. And now the dog and the team can do any pedestal we want, right? So when you really crank out the reps to get the skill, you only get this line here. And you get no knowledge out of it. You get the behavior, but you get no knowledge, which means it's very brittle. As soon as you expand it, you can't generalize it. Your generalization is going to be a bitch. If you play around with it with your, instead of trying to get it and then generalize it, if you get it working and play with it, as you generalize it, you'll move it around here. Everyone will be happy. No one will get stressed out. Dog won't think he's an idiot because he can't do it. Won't quit because it's too hard. It'll be fun. Woohoo, this is awesome. Handler will be like, yeah, we're learning all kinds of shit. You'll hit the wall. You'll come back over here to the easy, simple pedestal and move it around again. Play the game again, right? That's the way you want to do it. That's the way you want to do it. That's how it works. All right. It is interesting stuff, Byron, and I'm gonna demonstrate this while it happens, right? I mean, you've seen it in class. By the way, guys, I'm running more people off. Seem to be good at that. In class, we're using this to, people are really getting comfortable trying new things. Alicia is problem solving like amazingly. Her problem solving skills are amazing. She comes to class and she's like, oh, I had this problem, I did this, it worked, right? Or she's like, oh, I had this problem, I did this, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good, try this as well. Or if you do that plus this, holy cow, it'll really work. And we're all on the same page, right? Yeah, it happens. It happens. It totally happens. It's okay. They can catch the book. It's abstract though, and it's hard to think about. I think the people who can get what I'm talking about with this are not watching the stream. Like the people who really would get this very easily and be like, oh yeah, whoa, never thought of it like that. They're probably not watching the stream. And no offense to anybody who's watching the stream, right? Not trying to say that. I'm just saying that talking about it like this is really hard. It's a pretty abstract idea, and you have to know a bunch of shit about dog training to kind of get it. So, but I'm throwing it out there. This is what I'm working on, and it's badass, super badass. And it's only complicated, or it's only complex or chaotic if you don't know what's happening. It's only like that when we talk about it, right? When I'm demonstrating it, when I'm doing it and telling you, oh, here comes a safe to fail, here comes a safe to fail probe. I'm gonna try this and see how it happens. You can see it, right? Anytime we talk about training or talk about Frisbee, or talk about behavior, it's really hard, right? Positive punishment, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, right? 4 little simple things, as clear as you can say them, and breaks people when you talk about it. Go out and show it, bang, right? Everybody gets it. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Super cool. Let's see, what can we do? I think, let me see here. So the thing that's lying down over there, you can see it, right? Epi offered a safe to fail probe of jumping on the stool. It's not gonna work. So he'll try something else, right? He'll try eye contact. That's not going to work, right? I'll look over here. He'll take that. He's switched pedestals. That's not going to work, right? I'll step over here. He'll get off because neither of those have worked. Those are all safe to fail probes that he's done. And he knows that the pedestals are safe to fail. So he's trying things. If I walk over here, he'll try this. He'll try that. He'll try this. All of those are safe to fail probes for him, right? He doesn't know what to do, so he's trying things. And he doesn't care, right? He doesn't care that he's right or wrong. You know what I mean? He's just trying shit. As soon as, let me see. Trying to find something that, as soon as he finds the right thing, right? So this will be a stretch, and Cupcake will be there. So let me see if I can get Cupcake out of there. Cupcake, yes. Epi. So as soon as Epi hits this spot, right? Cupcake, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. Up. Yes, right? That probe paid off. Easy. Off. And what's he going to do? Wham. Right? So as soon as he found a probe that worked, off, yes, he went right back to it. Yes, right? And he checked to see if that was going to work. And it did. And now he's got duration as a concept. So now he's offering duration. I'm going to prove he's right. Off. Yes, good man. Right? This abstract situation of us walking through the studio is turning concrete. Yes. There's the down. Right? I'll reinforce it. He's going to hold it for duration because he has the duration concept. Off. Yes, good man. Right? Cupcake has been offering this. Hang on, Cupcake. Yep. Has been offering this because this works. The pedestal here, right? She'll continue to offer that as long as it works. Epi back on the spot, right? Off. Cupcake, off. Good girl, right? So that stuff is exactly what's happening here. That is freaking exactly what we do all the time. And I just did exactly what I fucking walked around that map on. Exactly. And the dog did too. I didn't know what I was doing when I walked out there, did I? Well, I don't know. Can I not this, not this. Shit, what am I going to get? Ooh, I'll throw down the mat. Right? And now Epi, Cupcake's still on there. Yeah, hang on. No. Switch. Ep, Cupcake, Ep, off. Cupcake. I have to be careful because Epi will eat her. But Epi will pound the mat again. And then he'll lie down on the mat. He certainly would have had I marked and not paid him. Right? But we're doing what I laid out on the map. Completely doing what I laid out on that map. King hasn't quit offering this one, right? This is a totally safest to fail probe there is. Get on my pedestal, right? These two operating around Epic. When Epic is out, these two, every probe is not safe to fail. There are very few probes that are safe to fail when Epi's out for these two. So they have to be careful, right? So they're not super free to do a bunch of shit, right? When he's gone, they're much more free with how they interact. Skill level here. We're getting to something close to relaxed, the flow thing for Epi. You're noticing that he's not flopping around anymore when I give him cookies, right? You'll notice Cupcake is not jumping around being all crazy. King, totally cool with what's going on. This is a low challenge, and these guys are all demonstrating moderate skills. And so the energy level dropped down. I just fucking laid that shit out, man. I just laid it out. And if you saw that, if you stuck around through all that and see this, it's what we're talking about. And we can know what's happening, right? Epi knows all of these little concepts. So as soon as he gets a safe to fail probe that works, he sticks with it. right? And it's usually my fault that I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on with that safe to fail probe. Right? And it isn't just that they're being good, Sage Paw, right? They literally walked through that Cynefin map. Pull it up. I'll go through it real quick. So, skills, concepts here in the clear domain. Pedestal selection, on, off, Epi demonstrated down, right? He demonstrated a foot target. He reached back with his rear foot. He gave eye contact. He looked at me, right? All of those things down here in the clear, right? So Epi has those really solid. He tried this one, it didn't work. He tried that one, it didn't work. He tried this one, it didn't work. He tried eye contact, it didn't work. Tried the stools, they didn't work. The pedestal or the spot went down. It's not really his thing. He happened upon it. I marked it. He was like, really? That worked? Then he repeated. He knows duration. So once he was on it, and then I told him off, he would stay there. We're done here, right? And he knows what's happening. So we took this stuff, we moved over here into the actual field of play, into actuality on Earth. Right? We took these things from the realm of ideas in Epi's little head, and we brought them out here and played around with them. He threw safe to fail probes until something worked. I marked it, reinforced it, and bang. We have nice, comfortable, easygoing, chill. Low challenge, moderate level of skill required. And that's that. Play plus, QED. QED. So that getting off, Cupcake, that is a safe to fail probe. There will always be a safe to fail probe for her. If you're just coming in, you should probably just rewind it. Don't be here on time, because if you go back 10 minutes and sit through all that shit I just talked about, something magical happened for you. You'll totally get what I'm talking about. If you move on from here, you'll have to watch it later, and it'll be weird shit. Again, the little thing here, I can't say her name because she thinks that calls her off. She feels safe to move around. She can do whatever she wants, and she should. I've allowed her to, right? And I've allowed her to because I'm more interested in her knowing what works than I am in her doing it right now. Once she knows what works, all of these things she can do. I can do all the things, right? Once she knows how things work, what are the things that she's doing, right? Then I can use them to get what I want. She can use them to get what she wants. Right? And you can see she's really working it. And there, how about I lie down, right? I love that hip flop. I'm going to go pay that, right? I'm going to go pay that. That's terrific. And I don't care if she gets up. You know, and I think a bunch of people watch this stream and they're like, what the fuck is he doing? Why isn't the dog doing? Why isn't the dog doing the thing? And the dogs are doing all the things, and they know what they're doing, right? And when they know what they're doing, they're throwing the behaviors at me. I know how to interact. I know how to ask the dog a question. The dog knows how to ask me a question. We know how to dialogue. We can solve any problem there is. And I can handle these dogs and work the shit out of them and make very few mistakes, right? But I can't teach you anything, you know, and I'm not teaching the dog anything. I'm just doing behaviors, right? And that's cool. That's cool. It's important. It's super important. I need to do more of it. I really do need to do more of it, right? But it's not the important thing. I'll read that thing again, and actually I'll just paste it in here. Right? I'm gonna go pay because everybody stayed. What's on the screen there right now, right? You want to be super clean, John, right? It's not about this rep. We don't need this rep, we need the knowledge. If we get the knowledge, we get every rep. When we get, if we pull out all the stops to get this rep, we don't get the knowledge. Right? We don't need this rep, we need the knowledge. If we get the knowledge, we get every rep. If we pull out all the stops to get this rep, we don't get the knowledge. And the knowledge and the interaction, the method between us, the dialectic, the fact that I look out here and these guys look at me and wonder what's happening. The fact that they wonder what's happening, that they don't know what's going to happen, that's important. The fact that they know epic, yes. The fact that they know he jumped up on me there. I don't know if you saw his head, right? He got up on me, and then he was like, oh shit, and he jumped down, right? They're dialoguing, they're interacting with me, and that's an important piece of the training, and that allows you to do a bunch of cool shit. And I don't care about this rep, I want the knowledge. So there you go. All right, what else do we got? Anybody got anything? I think I'm going to wrap it up on that, actually. I think I'm going to wrap it up. So I'm going to play, we'll give you guys a minute or two. Any questions you have or comments you have, make it happen. Otherwise, I'm going to play us out with Badass Meme Roll number 4. Right? You guys got anything? If you just dropped in, a couple people just dropped in. Yeah, it is a good place to end, I think. Go back and watch my whole shtick about talking about it, and watch that thing. Watch this go down. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm teaching. Come to fucking class. Patreon.com/pvibe. Right? Vice directors and bus buddies get access to class. Do it, and we'll do this stuff and show you how to get knowledge. Right? Screw the behavior. Get the knowledge. All right. And do your forms. Do your forms. They're free on Discwando. Yellow belt and white belt are free. pvibe.com. I'll show you that. pvibe.com. Go to classes and go to the Discwando class. There are forms there. Do the white and yellow belt forms exactly as they're written, exactly as they're on the video, as best you can. Hook up with me on Patreon. I'll see you guys soon. Play us out with Badass Meme Roll number 4. See ya. Whoa, you guys are terrific. See you, Byron. Thanks a bunch, man. See you, Sage Paw. Take care. King, dude, you got to do something, man. That's not okay. It's not okay for you to look like that. Come on. Yes, good man. Don't be so fucking lazy. It's embarrassing. Your mom would be so embarrassed. Toodles. Rockalele. See you guys. Oh, look at you. You picked another.